Stand up for the environment. Don't waste our precious water resources.
It starts with you. LeadSA.co.za.
We like helping people who've helped themselves. So do our listeners.
Entrepreneurs SA on Talk Radio 702 and 567 Cape Talk.
With FNB.
Who are you?
I'm Leigh Bennie. Thank you for downloading A Word on Small Business on 702 and Cape Talk. All the A Word on shows are available as a podcast when you visit 702.co.za or capetalk.co.za.
27 minutes to 9 o'clock. If you've only just joined us, a very good evening to you. Lovely to have you with us. My name is Leigh Bennie. It's A Word on Small Business. Now, this evening we're looking at the importance of writing a business plan. And as I said earlier, you know, we've had so many varying opinions on the business plan and how important it is. And I think we need some clarity because really all our experts are all on the same page. They just say things in different ways. So I'm hoping that's going to come out tonight. And then we're going to look at a quick and easy business plan, what needs to go into it, what are the most important things going forward when you're looking at firstly growing your business, but updating that business plan to know where you are and where you're going and where you want to be and how far away from all of that you are. Where they will be discussing these controversial things, we're looking at something that I suppose could be, in some circles at least, considered controversial, but it's not really, and that is the business plan. I'm doing so this evening with Micah Mkombeza, who's the manager of new offerings development at CEDA, which is of course the Small Enterprise Development Agency. Micah, lovely to have you in studio. Thanks for coming in this evening.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you very much, and good evening to all the listeners.
I think it's important to clear up a lot of things, but before we do so, let's just go over CEDA and their mandate. Who are you?
Well, CEDA came into being way back in 2004-05. when the government felt it was necessary to amalgamate the various institutions that were serving small enterprises. Mm-hmm. This is Nsika, Namak, CPPP. They amalgamated them to form CEDA so that we have one delivery arm across South Africa. And yes, it has been in business since then, and there's a number of institutions as well that have come on board. Recently, we have had the STP CEDA Technology Program coming into the fold as well. Mm. So it provides a wholesale one-stop shop for small enterprises across South Africa.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now explain to us, and obviously, I mean, you're the people who are in the know, why you think or don't think a business plan is integral to the success of a business.
Well, planning for anything requires thinking thoroughly. Mm. And more so if you are going to put your thoughts on paper and expose them to the scrutiny of others. Now, when you engage in a thinking process, you're bound to think everything through and in great detail and analyze every facet of a business and test the soundness of your assumptions over and over again. So a business plan is a roadmap of your business. It highlights the planned journey, how the business will achieve its goals, and how it will achieve its objectives. So it is necessary for every business.
Well, you see, now this is the thing, you know, I mean, Kino was talking about some of these programs that are available. It's a bit like the share trading programs that are available. Some of them are great, some of them are not great, what have you. But it's the idea of a regimented, specific formula that has gone out the window, isn't it? It's more, like you say, you know, it could almost be the way you describe writing down and working through all your ideas, it's almost like journaling. This is just channeling it into the right segments, into the right areas, rather than fitting a particular formula. Would you say that's accurate?
Okay. Strictly speaking, there is no standard layout of a business plan. Mm-hmm. But certain banks or finances or institutions, they require that one follow a certain format or template.
And then they don't read it.
But in general, all of them cover more or less all the main areas that are expected to be in a business plan. Mm-hmm. So those templates are your guiding lines to guide you so that you include everything that one might be looking at into your business plan.
Yeah. I think that's something to bear in mind, because there are a lot of, if you look at one of these programs, you download one of the comprehensive guides, they're great, but you don't need to fill all of them in for your particular business.
That's right, yes. Because it varies from business to business. Say, for example, a manufacturing business might be different from a service business plan.
Yeah.
So you take some components and you leave some, depending on the business plan that you are developing. But it is a very nice guideline to have when developing a business plan.
Okay, so where do you start when you want to put a business plan together?
Well, I think that one should start with the business idea, the opportunity itself that one has identified. If it represents a factual business opportunity that can result in a successful, viable, and sustainable venture, then one should move into documenting that idea into how that business venture is going to be executed so that you can have a successful business. And if one needs assistance in doing so, well, there's plenty of professional assistance that is available. And one of them is such organizations as CEDA.
Well, I was going to say, do you help people?
Yes, we do. We do have business advisors who sit down with our clients and guide them in developing the business plan. We need to bear in mind that the only person who can drive your business planning process, it is you as entrepreneur. You're the one who's got the dream, who knows the opportunity. And all our advisors do is to sit down with you and guide you through the process.
They're not going to do the research for you.
You need to do the research yourself.
Yeah. So no laziness, I tell you.
That's right, yes.
Micah is chatting to us about the business plan, the importance of the business plan. We're going to go through the 6-step business plan, so the basics, the basic questions that you need to answer. Of course, there is a lot more detail that you can go into, and just look at the ongoing business plan. At the moment, we concentrate, of course, at the beginning, so it's going to get finance, it's giving you direction, making you understand exactly what your objectives are. But going forward, it's also tracking your business. So you need to make it user-friendly to you and to your business, and that we'll get into. Any questions as we go along, you're welcome to give us a call on 011-883-0702, 021-446-0567. Right, so we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the business plan. Not as tedious, I don't think, as it used to be, similar to CVs. They hopefully are not as tedious as they used to be. Micah, about how long should your business plan be?
It depends with the size and complexity of the business. A business plan for an upholstery business, for example, or a soft furnishings business employing 3 people would be different from a furniture manufacturing business employing 200 people. But the basics in the business plans, whether it's a thick business plan or a small business plan, they're all the same. The goal is one and the same.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so it's impossible to say. It's one of those, how long is a piece of string? But the sections, it depends on your business. It really does. Okay, that's, I think, as close as we're going to get to an answer unless we have a particular business idea in front of us. We started talking about compiling the business plan and starting with the basic description and what it is you want to do. But what else? Is there a certain structure to follow when you're putting a business plan together?
There's no set structure that one should follow. But however, there's different components or standard components that should be there in a business plan. And all sections are important. They all play a significant role. Whether it is the executive summary or the area highlighting the objectives of the business or the business concepts, talking about your market or the competitors analysis, the succession plan of the business, the infrastructure, marketing strategy, your budget, all of these are very important. But what is key is that you should provide the reader of your business plan with an in-depth picture of your business and its potential. That is what is key.
I'm just thinking about repetition here. So what are some of the common mistakes that you see at Cedar when you're looking at business plans?
I think you did touch on one of the common mistakes that most people make. And that is thinking that, well, my business is too small, so there's no need for me to develop a business plan. That is wrong. One needs to develop a business plan. It is your roadmap of your business. And some people have said that if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. So we want businesses to be successful. So there's need for them to document a business plan and use it as their Bible for their business on an everyday basis as they manage their business through. Yes.
You see, look, it is a problem. I've got the idea in my head. I know where we're going. I know how we're going to do it. So just give me the money and leave me alone. I think that's the mindset of a lot of people. The problem is you do kind of get busy and you do kind of get caught up in day-to-day stuff that needs to be done. Admin that you hate to do, for example. And before you know it, you're off track or you're off that original track, but you don't even realize how far off track it is. So for me, that's exactly it. It's the roadmap. You just want that GPS. Where was I supposed to be? What coordinates? Where am I now? Is this good or bad? And what does that mean? The other thing, I was looking recently at business plans. The executive summary sometimes is 5 pages long. And I just think all of that stuff you're going to mention later. You don't need to go into exactly how you're going to market the business because you have a marketing plan. You don't have to go into how you're going to sell it because you have a sales plan. So for example, the executive summary needs to be more concise because you're losing people. That I thought was one of the common mistakes that I saw there. And I'm sure the same can be said about all the different areas. Try not to repeat yourself.
In fact, a lot of people, they develop the whole business plan and then they go through it and then come back and do the executive summary. It is as the word says, it is the summary of the business plan. It just gives it's like an appetizer of what the business is all about. That's the key thing that that executive summary is supposed to do, to make one want to read more into the business plan.
Okay, there you go. So that's what you've got to remember with your executive summary. Everything else is secondary. I mean, yes, it is supposed to be a summary, but it's got to be a teaser as well. It's got to make you want to read further. Otherwise, no one's going to. Least of all you, let's face it. Okay, so interesting. All right, so those are some of the common mistakes you see. They're more around not common mistakes we make in the business plan, but rather common mistakes we make in not having a business plan. Yeah?
The common mistakes, yes, but those two are the sort of key ones that are very common, especially with the lower end market, those who are beginning businesses, entering into the business arena. Those are some of the common mistakes that they do. But as we have already highlighted, the key thing that you want out of the business plan is to get your reader to get an in-depth understanding of your business, where you want to take the business to, and how you're going to get there, and how you're going to achieve your objectives. Because by so doing, then they have an idea and see if they can invest in that business or see if they can finance that business. That's the main thing. But also, even your employees, they use it as a guide to guide them on the everyday decisions that they make in the business, because they've got a plan that they are working towards.
Yeah, I was just thinking about a really ghastly situation. But we've been talking a lot recently about how you've got to plan to grow in your business. So I should imagine that's a mistake that a lot of the really small guys goes. They're not planning to grow, they're planning to survive. And that's what it is. But how your business, you need to be able to sell it. Or if something happens to you and you get sick, someone else needs to be able to run it. So you can't be your business. Your business needs to run itself. And heaven forbid, but you find yourself in a situation where something happens to you and one of your family members have to pick up this business. They don't have the plan in your head. This is another integral area, or a staff member, where a business plan is so important, because they're going, okay, so this is where he was going with this, or she was going with this. This is how she wants it done. Boom.
Yes, and that's one of the main advantages of having a business plan. And some of the advantages are that it provides the motivation for others to support or invest into the business. And this includes bankers, investors, financiers, suppliers, even your staff. And also it necessitates the application of logical thought process that's improving the quality of business making or decision making. And a business plan is also a tool for monitoring and evaluation to determine if the goals that you set are being met. If they're not being met, where are you going wrong? So you can always go back to the drawing board. And it also serves as an early warning system for identification of potential problems and opportunities in the business. So when kept up to date and frequently referred to and used as a blueprint of the business, it fosters or augments success of the business. And this is what we want for the business to be successful.
How often should we be going back to our business plan?
It should be used every day in the business.
Really?
That's your guidebook.
Okay, so really, if you're writing this enormous manual that's there to gather dust, you're doing it wrong, is basically what we're saying.
It's not to be developed and put on a shelf and gather dust, but it's a tool that you use every day.
If you can't use it, it's no good. Yeah. We've been looking at the basics of writing a business plan this evening, and why it is important, just going over what needs to be included. Hopefully you will be inspired to do a little bit of research and perhaps throw a couple of things together. Okay. Well, if you want more information, you can go to CEDA's website, which is seda.org.za, seda.org.za. You can also phone the information center, which is 0860 103 703, 0860 103 703. We have been chatting to their manager of new offerings development at CEDA. Micah has come to us and will do so again. Micah, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's been my pleasure.
Micah Mkombeza. Good night. So he says, and I'm afraid it is time for me to say the same. Talk at 9 with Kino coming up next. Enjoy it from me, Leigh Bennie. Have a wonderful evening, what's left of it. It's 9 o'clock.